change, 'cause these inner demons ain't holding me no more. Yeah, I'll be brave and I'll stand tall.
Today I'm joined by Conor McLain, who's joined me to chat about his musical career. Conor, welcome to Totally Music. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi Tracy, yeah, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, so my name's Connor. An Irish singer-songwriter from Ireland, but I live in London at the moment and have done for the past 5 or 6 years, 5 or 6 years. And yeah, I release my own original music, kind of within the kind of singer-songwriter pop soul space, kind of within that trio of music. And yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell, really.
Well, I'm glad to have you on. What got you into music?
So I think from yeah, what I was kind of into music from a really young age. Like I said, I come from Ireland. I have a really kind of typical Irish family of. I think I've over 30 cousins at this stage. One of those. So our family parties were definitely good crack, as they would say. It's always a good laugh at our family parties, and they basically it was a lot of it was surrounded by music. So we would kind of the later the night got, the longer the music would go on, and the singing and the dancing would be going on all night. I grew up going to church a lot, so like we would always have like heard folk groups and choirs and different things like that. So and it was a range of like that Irish traditional Celtic music to like soulful, church music as well, which was a big influence. And then yeah, just my parents were big into music as well. My mom was into kind of anything modern, but she was also like into Latin music because she's a salsa dancer, which is pretty cool. Not many Irish salsa dancers out there, so she that's a really cool part of her. And then my dad was big into like rock and soul as well, and like Michael Jackson and they were both in the Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, things like that. So I was brought up with good music education at the same time.
Yes, so for anyone who's not heard your music, how would you describe it?
So the music itself, like the topics within the music, is very much about individuals who might be in a place where they might have had struggles in their past, be it personally internal struggles, external struggles, um, and also people that suffer with imposter syndrome is a big theme that comes with my music. Something I've suffered with a lot in the past. That feeling of not feeling worthy, feeling like you have something to offer, but you don't feel like you're as good as that person or the next person, kind of undervaluing yourself for that reason. And but there's an underlay of real like power, sorry, and passion of trying to push through that and better yourself and get to the other side of that and not letting that control you really in your day to day.
So you've
Yeah.
recently released your new single, Who Am I? Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah, so Who Am I is it's actually turning out to be one of my favorites. I always thought my favorite song would have been my first ever song I released, Inner Demons, which yeah, is still one of my favorite songs, but Who Am I is kind of starting to take over that. It's basically it's a piano ballad. Again, very like deep as far as the lyrics, and really has that theme of imposter syndrome that I just mentioned, kind of threaded throughout the song. um, and yeah, I just wanted to make a modern day kind of ballad that had a really cool, polished, powerful track, but also had like quite raw vocals. Like I try not to over. The producer that I worked with on it, Levi Bennington, he's a guy from Nashville. He's so talented, and I've worked with him on all my other tracks. I really wanted him to. I asked him if we could kind of have that where the track was like really cool, like alternative and polished sound, but with a bit of power. And then the vocals side, if we could keep that as raw as possible, because I really wanted the emotion to push through on that. Um, so yeah, that's really what Who Am I is about, and it's been really well received from by by a lot of different people, reaching out and let me know how they've connected with the song. again, I have my own personal reasons for writing something, but it's really one of those songs where people will be able to think of different ways that they can connect with it and different ways that the feelings in that song has impacted their life in some way. So yeah, that's what's I think quite special about this song.
I really do like the song, and I was like seeing all your positive comments you were getting about it. I was like really pleased for you about it because it is a really good song.
Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I'm glad you like it as well. That's good. Yeah.
So, what did you learn during the creation of the song?
During the creation of this one, so I actually wrote it with my manager Tom, and we basically he was on piano, and he basically like could find the chord progression for the song, like he thought about it, and then I we were just looping that, we were looping the chord progression, and I was just recording everything in the session that I that the melody was kind of making me feel. So it was kind of pulling lyrics out of me or melodies. I was just kind of humming and hawing along, for most of it. And then when I liked a little bit of a melody that I was humming along, I started putting lyrics to that. But yeah, what's pretty unique about the actual when we were in the session writing the song was that the chorus just kind of fell out of me, like that from, let's say, that who am I right up until to the end of it, just someone that you heard before, that last lyric of the chorus that like just consistently like came out at the one time, which was nice and unexpected and like pretty cool. But so what we did with that was, which is quite unique, is the very last chorus of the song. I don't know if you listen back to it, you might be able to hear, but we actually took that out of that session, the original writing session, and put that in the song because I'm a big kind of believer in, it's hard to recreate like raw emotion like that, so I don't really want to be one of those people. It's like in a studio singing something 20 times just to try and like, match the original emotion it felt. So I was like, I feel like it's quite powerful, so I want to incorporate that into the final track, so yeah, that's kind of what we learned through creating the song.
Nice. So, what are your favourites that are lyrics from the song?
um I think Yeah, I think two parts, two or three sections really. I think the most kind of poignant ones is quite like, uh there's two lines. So in the chorus, who am I? Am I someone that's done something wrong? Who am I? Will I always walk this road along? So the first one, you've got, am I someone that's done something wrong? It's quite literal. Like that's something we sometimes would like say every day to ourselves or to other people. Like, have I done something wrong here? Like what's going on? Then the second one's like quite poetic. Will I always walk this road along? It's not really something you would say in everyday conversation, but I like that like light and shade, and within I try to do that within my when I'm writing lyrics, because if you did every line poetic, it's cheesy. If you did every line literal, it's like not. It's harder to connect, and there's harder to get that flow to a song. So I like that combination. And then the very last line, about it, is it in my mind? I think it's time I tried because I've left myself behind. Again, there was like a real realization where I was at the time, thinking, because this was before I was launching music, and I really felt unfulfilled at that time. I was thinking, I really should actually try for myself right now, because if I don't try to push things for myself, no one else is going to bloody do it for me. So I need to get my shit together, for sorry for want of a better phrase. Hope you don't mind
No,
personal,
I don't
totally.
mind.
Let's go. Yeah, so to get myself together really and push forward was the main meaning behind that lyric.
So, how did you come up with the artwork for the song?
So the artwork actually I did with a really talented photographer, Marcus, who I've tagged Marcus a few times on my Instagram, because he did like most of the visuals um for my singles and for anything that I coming up. So that the picture of that one is me looking in a mirror, and kind of like, again, I feel like it's quite self-explanatory when you think of the song, like who am I, self-discovery, like what's going on here, like what kind of person am I. But again, I want those things to be a little bit more discreet again, as opposed to trying to, and a bit artistic, as opposed to crossing that line of kind of being stereotypical, or in some way. And I feel like Marcus has a great eye for that. Like he doesn't like he has such an alternative eye when it comes to taking pictures, where he doesn't just see kind of what the everyday person sees, which is obviously why he's so successful in his career. He's like shot so many like amazing artists and like really reputable artists, and been on tour with artists, and I was just lucky enough to do some work with him, and hopefully work with him again. So yeah, it was a collaborative effort, that one.
So what's the best advice you've been given that's helped you with your music career?
So I think one of the best lines was to save some energy for the next thing, because there will always be a next thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I really didn't anticipate coming into like releasing music independently, because you really have to operate your career like a label would operate, but the would operate it for you if you were signed. But in a label, they have a full team of people. They would have marketers, they would have promoters, they would have gig bookers, they have all that. So you have to do all that yourself. So and I remember like when I launched Inner Demons, my first single, I was putting so much time and effort and energy into perfecting the song, creating content around the song, and getting all that ready and trying to push that out, that I actually was doing a launch event at the same time to like signify oh, this is me starting music, and invited some of my like my nearest and dearest people that have been so supportive to my career over the years. But once that event was done, we were actually launching another song like 6 weeks later, and I was like, I was dead after that. I was like, I don't know how I could have any energy to do anything, and I went into like this 2 week hole of being like, yeah, I just need a break right now. That proper like burnout feeling. So that's when that, because I'd heard this line before that, and that's when it really sunk in. Then to be like, okay, you can't do this to yourself again. You actually need to save some energy for the next thing. Yeah.
So what's one message you'd give to your fans?
A message I give to my fans would be just that I hope that they can really see, first of all, who I am through my music, but also that they can take something away from it that can help them, or that they can relate to, or that they can pass on to someone else that they think it could help. And yeah, just thank you for any support that's been coming up. Like it really has been crazy the past, really, yeah, the past 5 6 months. Like my, as far as like my numbers and following and things have like more than doubled, and like people have really wanted to show their support. I've had like people reaching out from like Australia and Sweden, like kind of being like, "Oh, we really love your song. We want to
Oh,
help you do well over here." Like, and they're contacting radio stations on my behalf, and they're like trying to like contact venues to see if they'll have me come and play a show there. And like I never really understood the magnitude of what can come from music, and it just shows you how powerful music is, and the fact that you can get people that really want to invest in you so much. Like that's just an amazing kind of privilege for me. So yeah, it's more thanks than anything to any fans that have come my way.
that's nice. So finally, what's next for you?
So yeah, there's plenty coming up, Tracy. Yeah, so we I'm aiming to. There's going to be an album launch around October time this year. Still kind of solidifying the date. Still solidifying the album as well, if I'm honest. But so that'll come. So yeah, that's going to be launched around October time. Within Before that, we're going to be launching two more singles. So there will have been five singles launched before the album. Hopefully, that's enough to get people intrigued enough to listen to the next unheard five or six singles that we have on songs that we have on there. And then we're going to be playing shows then. So initially, I'm hoping to do. I'm ready to start booking venues in UK and Ireland, and then I am in talks with certain people about some venues in the States. In America, that's probably going to be going 2025. But I love that. I love the idea of just being able to get out on the road and to actually connect with these people that I've been seeing virtually for the longest time, or like speaking to virtually, and actually be right in front of them and playing those shows. Really, that's the main plans.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to following your journey and seeing what's coming up for you.
Thank you. Hopefully, I see you at a show up towards your way. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
massive thank you, Connor, for joining me on Totally Music. If anyone would like to check out Connor's music, I'll leave all the links in the description below for you. But thank you.
Brilliant, Tracy. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you. Yeah.
So break these chains, 'cause these